Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. I am your host, Frank Ray, and we are powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And this morning I wanted to, or I should say, it might not be morning to you, but on this episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about specifically the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. I don't think I've really done a podcast where I've just given you my thoughts on Loan Officer Breakfast Club. And now that we're over 2 years into the Loan Officer Breakfast Club and we've had time to really let it develop, I just thought it would be a good thing to chat with you guys about it and let you know why I'm finding it so incredibly valuable. And when I say that I'm finding it really incredibly valuable, it's not just valuable to me in the sense that, hey, I host it and it's doing well, right? So I'm not saying it in that regard. And I'm not saying that it's valuable to me in from the concept of, I host the show and, we're dispensing information out there. And, I find some sort of value in that. But I'm telling you, I find value in Loan Officer Breakfast Club as the host of it, just by the incredible amount of fellowship that goes on in the club. And how it benefits me personally in my own book of business. I mean, you could say that, okay, Frank Garay is the host of the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, and he's, one of the quote unquote coaches. And so, how does that benefit Frank in his personal business? Well, he's a coach. He's the host. He should have all the stuff dialed in. He should have it nailed. Like, there should be nothing that he can benefit from the Loan Officer Breakfast Club because he's the host and a coach. And so he's the provider of information. But I tell you, that's not the case at all. On today's Loan Officer Breakfast Club, we were talking about, I always do kind of a word of the day. And today, I don't know why it came to me, but fellowship came to me. And I realized that Loan Officer Breakfast Club is this group of originators of every experience level coming together to fellowship. Now, we do revolve around a daily success plan that's provided by the Mortgage Marketing Animal. So we do kind of revolve our fellowship around it. But it's not like you get on Loan Officer Breakfast Club and there's 3 or 4 talking heads, i.e. me, Carl, Steve, Kristen, maybe Tammy, maybe Kevin Gillespie. It's not like you get on the club and then there's these talking heads that just tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's not that. It's we get onto the Zoom call and we start talking about the business. We start talking about our challenges. We start talking about our wins. And we do revolve around that daily success plan. So what I have learned in having done the Loan Officer Breakfast Club now for 2 years is that everybody learns. Everybody learns from it. Carl White, probably the greatest mortgage coach in the country, he learns every day. I can't tell you how many times we're on Breakfast Club, somebody's saying something, and Carl's like, well, I'm writing that down, or he's like, will you do a podcast with me? It's just this really great, I hate using the word melting pot, but it's kind of what it is. We, that term for the United States is a melting pot of people, but it really kind of is because we have so many different experience levels and people from all over the country. And but it's so neat to be able to just kind of dive into this daily experience and learn from so many people. It's been nothing but absolutely insanely beneficial for me and very fulfilling for me, not only because I host it, but just on the receiving end of all the great information that comes out on Loan Officer Breakfast Club. I'll give you a perfect example. So many of you may know that I've entered back into the origination space. But if you're not familiar with me, this is the first time you've heard me on the podcast. I'm Frank Garay. I've been in the business since January of 1987. I had a unique career where I, was handling, where I was, an originator, branch manager, net branch operator, from 1987 all the way up to the big crash of 2007. Then after when the big crash came, I found myself becoming this video guy with my co-host Brian Stevens, and we went on. For me personally, it's I did this video blog that we called the National Real Estate Post for 15 years. It's been going on now for about 17 years, and Brian Stevens still runs it and still does an amazing job with it. Go check out the National Real Estate Post, nationalrealestatepost.com, to see it. But then after that, after 15 years of that, I decided to get into coaching. I should take that back. I didn't decide to get into coaching. I called my friend Carl White because I needed a change. I just wanted a change from doing the National Real Estate Post. I called my buddy Carl White. He said, let's do this Loan Officer Breakfast Club thing. And so now I've been doing that for 2 years. Now, about 6 months ago, through this process, I decided, for the sake of helping a couple of my children who could use something of equity, I wanted to build a business with them. And I decided to step back into the origination game once again and start doing my loan business and building a team for my kids, with my kids, so that they have something of equity that I can, pass on to them, so that, someday if I wanted to, I could pull the trigger and retire, that kind of a thing. So now you're all caught up on me. And so I'm back into the origination space. And the example I was going to point out is that on Breakfast Club. So here I am. I'm this guy with this wealth of experience. I'm this guy that's been immersed in this coaching program for over 2 years. You would think that, you can't teach me any new tricks, right? Like, you would think that, I should know everything. Okay. Here's the deal. I don't, man. And I learned something on Breakfast Club every single day. It's pretty neat. And so, perfect example, let me finally get to the example. Perfect example was last week. The question came up of, how do we engage with a referral that came over from a real estate agent? What's the most effective way to engage? Is it a phone call, an email, a text? What is it? How do we get from an agent giving us a name and a number to getting that person contacted, getting an application done, and getting it moving? What's the best process to get that flowing? And what came out of it was, and there was a lot of discussion about it. There was a lot of fellowship about it on the club. And what came out of it is the multi-person text, right? The three-way text, which is, okay, realtor sends me a referral and I start a three-way text. So I start a three-way text with, of course, myself, with the prospect, and with the referral partner on the text. And so then we engage that way by saying, hey, Sally Realtor gave me your contact information, said you're interested in getting pre-approved or talking mortgage stuff. What's a good time that I could reach out to you? Or can I call you later this afternoon, or whatever your call to action you want it to be there? And there was some differing thoughts on that call to action as well. But you're engaging in a three-way text. Now, and one of the things that people said is they share their Calendly link in that three-way text. So, and then another angle on it is they do both. They say on the three-way text, hey, I got referred to you by Sue. She's on this text thread. Wanted to reach out to you and try and get you helped. I can either give you a call this afternoon, or if there's a better time for me to call you, let me know. Or if it's easier for you, you can click the link below to grab a day and time that works best for you, that fits your schedule. So it really kind of crystallized into that sort of a text message. And for me, that was like, God dang, that's a good idea. Because a lot of times when we get a lead from a real estate agent, we're calling these people, and they might not necessarily be thinking that might be us, and they see the strange number, they don't answer it, it goes to voicemail, maybe they don't check their voicemail, so there can be some delay, right? Or there can be there can be a disengagement there, like they're not connecting the dots if that's you. So the three-way text, really, to engage with the lead, really was a really great thing for me to learn. And I tell you, I implemented it right away, and it started working right away. And the other really great thing about it is in the Daily Success Plan and Mortgage Marketing Animals and Loan Officer Breakfast Club, our great friend and coach, Steve Kiles, who's the master of scripting, he always tells us, when you touch a lead, touch the partner. In other words, a real estate agent sends you a referral, you make the call or do the text or whatever, and you don't get a response, let the agent know. And in every time you try to engage with that lead, or you do engage with that lead, let the agent know what that engagement was or what that attempt was. Well, this three-way text on the initial handoff of the lead from the realtor to you really accomplishes both things, because it lets the real estate agent know your engagement. You're touching the lead and the partner at the same time. So, perfect example is I did get a couple of leads after that, right? After that meeting, I thought, this is great. Okay. And so I got a couple of leads, two from one agent in particular. And so what I did with those is I started that three-way text, right? And guess what? Neither one responded. Neither of the leads responded to that three-way text. But, right, the agent knew what I did. And so I did that twice on the first day. The agent saw what I did, right? I did it again the following day. The agent saw what I did, right? And I'm here to tell you guys, I still have to follow up on those leads today, right? I still have to. I'm still in the process of following up, but it's so easy for me because it's this three-way text between me, the lead, and the agent. And I'm just checking in. Hey, just checking in. Hey, did you maybe have some time this weekend? Right? No response. But my agent sees what I'm doing, right? So my agent knows Frank's working hard on these leads. Frank, it's just, anyway, look, here's the deal. That was just one example of what this very experienced guy who's been in the industry for a long time, who's been immersed in a coaching program for 2 years, something that I learned on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, right? I don't think that there's a day that goes by on Loan Officer Breakfast Club that you don't learn something. All of us learn something. And the nice thing is it's set up in such a way, it's a live Zoom call, right? It's free. It's a live Zoom call. We all get on there. Anybody can raise their hand. Anybody can speak. It's designed in a way to allow this type of fellowship amongst our peers, right? That's how it's designed. I remember when I first started working the gig with Carl and Steve and the team at Animals and started doing the Breakfast Club. And, some people know me out there in the industry because of my tenure with the National Real Estate Post, and being kind of a person that a lot of people knew or know. And, so I've had a lot of, when I started doing it, I had some of my peers reach out to me and ask me about it. They were like, so what is this thing you're doing with Carl? I said, oh, it's a daily Monday through Thursday, absolutely free coaching Zoom call for any originator that wants to jump on board. And they're like, every day? Like, yeah, every day. Like, how can you, in fact, I remember one gentleman who's a coach as well. I remember him saying, dude, I can't even imagine that kind of pressure. Being able to tell people something new every day. That's just got to be a lot of pressure. And it was like, well, no, there's really no pressure at all. I mean, we do revolve around the daily success plan, but this is a meeting of peers to discuss best practices, what's working, what's not, help each other deal with challenges. And boy, we get a lot of challenges, right? There's so many things that happen in the mortgage industry, so many things that we can help each other with regard to challenges. But I mean, it's just this flow of fellowship amongst peers that is absolutely fantastic. It's just such a fulfilling experience. I'm blessed, and I get to host it, right? I get to host it, but I'm blessed beyond hosting it. I'm blessed just to hear everything everybody's got to say, because there's a lot of really great originators out there that have been around the block and, have a lot to share. And it's just so well worth it to dive in. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I just, if you have not joined us at Loan Officer Breakfast Club, I can't encourage you enough. It's okay. So here's the thing. Loan Officer Breakfast Club, it's 8:30 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Eastern, absolutely free Zoom call every Monday through Thursday. Okay. You can register and get the Zoom link by going to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. Very simple, right? Loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. So just go there, register. Now, for those of you that are on the West Coast, I get it because I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California and I host it, right? I know that's early for a lot of us. But I got to tell you, man, there is something about getting up early and getting something like this under your belt every day. Um, if you feel like it's too early for you and you're on the West Coast, I would just say, do you think something like this would benefit you? If the answer is yes, then figure out what's really stopping you. What is it? Why can't you be on that Zoom call at 5:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday? What is it? Is it just you're a very deep sleeper and you just sleep very late? Maybe that's the case. I mean, that's just how it is for some people. Is it your activities that you do during the day? Do you stay up very late? Maybe, maybe it's worth getting to bed a little earlier. I'll tell you, there's benefits to getting up quite early in the day that surpass just being able to join us at Breakfast Club. I'm not telling you change your lifestyle just to join us at Loan Officer Breakfast Club, although that would be a benefit to you. I'm telling you maybe change your lifestyle just to get more out of your day and to get more out of who you are as a person. I personally, just so you know, I'm a 3:30 in the morning guy. I do fall asleep early, so I'm in bed early, right? I'm 8:30, I'm asleep, man, sound asleep most of the time. But it's just my lifestyle is such. I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking 7 years ago. That certainly helped in my lifestyle tremendously. But so for me, it's not that big of a deal. In fact, it's kind of natural for me now at this point. But I tell you, all I can do is really encourage you, let you know, for me personally, the early morning hours, that like 4 a.m. to about 5:20 when I light up Loan Officer Breakfast Club, that hour and a half for me, it's a spiritual thing. I love to, uh, get into the Bible, have my quiet time with God, right? That's my thing. Okay. And it's just so nice because it's so peaceful and it's so quiet and nothing's going on and there's no busy work stuff to start pulling at me. There's none of that, right? And then of course I get to jump on Breakfast Club at 5:20 and enjoy all of that. So, if you're on the West Coast, I know it's early for you, but maybe it's time for, kind of a life change, right? Maybe it's kind of time to evaluate that and really put it into gear. And am I going to say this? I'm going to say this, not just for us at Breakfast Club, right? But just overall, in general. It's good I said this on Breakfast Club the other day. If you like to drink, just try not to drink during the week. Try not to do it. Just don't do it, right? Don't drink. Get to bed early. Get up early. You'll see an improvement in every aspect of your life, not just your business. And hey, on the side, you get to join us at Breakfast Club, right? But you'll see a notable improvement. And I'm not making it up. I'm telling you from my life experience, my life has improved significantly in every area of my life. So I put the drinking aside. I'm not saying to quit drinking, right? I'm just saying if you do, maybe if you could curtail it to just the weekends or something like that, right? But my life has changed dramatically for the good in every single area of my life, by putting aside the alcohol and by getting, just living a humble, simple life as best I can, and just getting to bed early and getting up early. Significant changes, dramatic, significant, awesome changes just by a simple act of, getting to bed early, getting up early, man. That's what I do. And again, the other side benefit of that is you could join us at Breakfast Club. So with that, man, I'll let you go. Kind of just a rant on this podcast, but I really wanted everyone to know, if you have not engaged with us at Loan Officer Breakfast Club, you owe it to yourself to do it. It doesn't matter what experience level you're at all. We have got brand new people and people that have been in the business 40 years. Every aspect of originator is on Breakfast Club. So, and if you do have a wealth of experience, man, come share it. We'd appreciate it. If you're newer and you don't know so much, come on, man, and soak it up. Soak it all up. It's free. It's the coolest free gift to the mortgage industry for mortgage originators looking to do some business that's out there. There's just nothing cooler than it. Absolutely free. Come on in. Let's have some fellowship. Let's learn. Let's revolve around a plan that's proven to work. Perfect plan. Works absolutely perfectly. Let's revolve around that, but let's discuss things and have conversations and share wins and help each other overcome challenges. That's what we do at Loan Officer Breakfast Club every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Just go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com, loanofficerbreakfastclub.com, register, and I hope to see you there. You're absolutely going to love it. And with that, I'll go ahead and get on out of here. And I'll catch up with you guys next week here on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast, brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. Have a fabulous day and a fabulous week. We'll catch up with you later.